Avatar: The Last Airbender is the greatest American anime. Traditionally, the term anime specifically refers to an animated show or film that comes from Japan. And while The Last Airbender utilizes many anime tropes and tricks, it was only inspired by anime, not directly made in Japan. Legend has it that the creators of the show, Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, once gave the entire staff the homework of watching the anime Fooly Cooly so that they would be heavily influenced by that show. It's easy to see why so many people would classify this show as an anime. And in my opinion, it is best categorized as an American anime. Even though other animated shows like Castlevania and Teen Titans are in that same genre, they are nowhere near as fantastic as Avatar: The Last Airbender. I vividly remember waking up early in the morning around 7 a.m. as a kid in order to catch an episode on TV. And I recall the pure agony of missing the series finale only to be filled with absolute joy when I saw that very episode on the TV guide later that week. It was my favorite show as a kid. This spectacular world of people with superpowers was my ultimate fantasy. The setting was heavily inspired by Asian countries. While the four nations aren't one-to-one comparisons of their real-life counterparts, most people would agree that the air nomads resemble the Buddhists of Tibet. The Earth Kingdom is a loose comparison of Korea, once known as the Hermit Kingdom. The Fire Nation looks a lot like imperialist Japan, and the northern and southern water tribes are something akin to the Inuit peoples of the North Pole. Iroh describes these distinct nations perfectly in Season 2, Episode 9. The Fire Nation draws from their passion and will in order to make their dreams a reality. The Earth Kingdom is extremely persistent, making it difficult for others to change them. Air is the essence of freedom, not needing input from any worldly desires. Water is adaptable, able to adjust, but just flexible enough to never quite break. The Avatar, therefore, is literally the Christ figure in this story, a chosen person who has to redeem the world by sacrifice. It's such a cool show, though, because this time a 12-year-old has to restore balance to a 100-year plus war-torn world. And that's where the characters play a huge role in this story, with memorable people like the aloof, conflicted problem child Zuko and the goofy but courageous warrior Sokka. This show stands the test of time of a truly unique piece of fiction. I think everyone's favorite character in the show is Azula, right? I mean, she is pure evil, and it's no surprise that she has a mental breakdown by the end of the show. I also loved how Fire Lord Ozai wasn't the main focus of the daily attacks of the Aang gang, because he is basically saved as the ultimate challenge to everything. The most powerful bender in the entire world until Aang learns all four elements. It's just like Madara in Naruto, where they build him up for 500 episodes, and he does not disappoint. Of course, who could forget the wisest character in the show, Uncle Iroh? That scene where he finally reunites with Zuko is tear-jerking, for sure. But I think an overlooked aspect of this show is simply how the creators balance the mature themes with a goofy tone. You guys know how much I hate the whiplash of tone changing, but this show executes it flawlessly. Just within the first episode, you have Aang sledding on penguins, but you also have Zuko trying to kidnap Aang, a child. That's the thing though, none of this seems forced. The comedic timing of Sokka is perfectly punctual, and the gravity of life or death situations is always portrayed rightly. In Season 3, Episode 19, Aang asks for wisdom from his past lives, and they basically end up telling him to murk Fire Lord Ozai. Being an airbender, Aang ultimately finds a unique solution. That is some serious tonal change for a kid's show. It's not only his past lives, but all of his friends telling him to kill Ozai. While I do believe in capital punishment in certain cases, that's besides the point. The fact that this show brought up that issue and had its main character contemplate that decision is cause for applause. The way that Avatar: The Last Airbender deals with the mature themes all the while weaving a lighthearted tone into the story is simply not something you can replicate. In fact, there is an episode where the Fire Nation kids not only psychoanalyze each other, but themselves too. Episode 5 of Season 3 has the kids sitting around a campfire at night talking about life. It's eerily similar to an introspective person speaking in real life about themselves. Zuko is self-aware. He knows knows that he's angry all the time, but he can't quite figure out why. He's angry at himself for some reason. Azula recognizes that she wasn't loved by her mother as much as her mother loved Zuko, but she, however, revels in her nefarious personality. Two sides of the same coin. Person who sees how morally corrupt they are and hates themselves for it. Another person who sees the depths of their depravity but loves the power that it gives them. Needless to say, there is a lot of backstory and character development in the show. Some series are hundreds of episodes long, but they don't focus on the characters as much as this show does. That's just another reason why the Avatar: The Last Airbender is so incredible. There were so many great moments in this show, and I have seen it more than 3 times now. It's easy to see why this series receives so much hype, and unfortunately, why it is so hard to reproduce that same intangible quality. Sorry, Cora. Maybe the best way to think about this show is not that it is like this certain anime or it's similar to this American show. Rather, think of Avatar: The Last Airbender as its own thing. A unique experience that can be appreciated as is without any qualifiers or conditions. It truly is the best American anime. If you guys like this video, be sure to destroy that subscribe button. And that's it for the Eagle-Eyed Samurai. I'm signing off.